Hi Tatiana, how you doing today? Good to see you.
I'm I'm doing good, thank you. Nice to see you too.
Excellent, excellent. How's your day been so far?
It's been okay, a bit cold in the morning, but other than that, we're good.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so let the viewers know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, Tatiana.
Okay, my name is Tatyana Mumbua. I'm a counseling psychologist. I'm based in Kenya, Nairobi. Um, why I do it? I don't have a particular reason per se. I just found myself in the career and I am grateful. I enjoy it a lot and I am so happy. I won't prefer doing any other thing.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so when you think back before you got into counseling psychology, when you think of your mindset at the time when you thought this was the direction you want to go in, what was going through your mind? What was the process in your mindset at the time when you wanted to get involved in counseling psychology?
Okay. At the moment, I think I was in high school. I used to find myself in the guidance counseling office a lot, for whatever the reason was. The guidance counselor was also my English literature teacher, and we grew very close. And I admired what he did, and he managed to get me out of a very tight spot back then. And yeah, I think I developed a passion for what he did, and I decided I'm going to do it too.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so oftentimes when people get involved in things like counseling or coaching, there are things in their own life that they have had to overcome, and then they want to help others as well. So when we look at like things like relationships and looking at your own journey, what were the kind of struggles that you've had along the way and that you've had to overcome, and how did you navigate through those to get to where you are now?
Mm. If I'm being honest, I didn't have much struggle in the sector because personally, I don't date a lot uh, due to my faith, not because of anything else. I'm a Christian, and but people around me went through like a lot of issues, and they would always circle back to me. I didn't know why. I wasn't the most experienced in the sector, but yeah, they used to come to me a lot for advice and guidance, and more often than not, I think comfort. And yeah, I just
Yeah.
went with the wave actually.
Yeah. So, in your
Yeah.
opinion, though, how were you able to guide them so well, even though you didn't have much experience with relationships in your own personal life? What made it possible for you to help others with their relationships?
Mostly empathy and lack of judgment because I think I understood if I was in a similar position, I wouldn't be able to be as strong as they were. So I developed a lot of empathy for them and how strong they actually were because I'm not able to put myself out there like they are. So yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Now, looking further into relationships, one of the issues that a lot of people face when it comes to relationships is like gender roles. Like, for example, like someone might look at traditionally in a relationship, a man will lead the relationship and a woman will follow in the relationship. And some women are like, well, like I want to be free. Like, I don't really relate to these gender roles, so to speak. I want to make my own decisions. And some people say, well, it's very natural to fall into these type of gender roles. So with that, within that context, what is your viewpoint and opinion on gender roles within relationships?
Okay. Um, basically, I think it's best to tailor make the relationship to suit both partners' needs because one relationship will never look like the other. And I wasn't born into a family that had specific gender roles, even though we're African. We mixed up our roles quite a bit. So I think I'm very nimble when it comes to that topic. So basically, just do you. Whatever works for the relationship, do it instead of imitating and trying to put up all these structures that other people are doing, or you're trying to enhance all these things that look suitable from the outside, but actually affecting you in the inside.
Right, right, right. So would you say it's natural for women to be attracted to a man that can take the lead, or do you feel like it doesn't really matter in that sense? Or would you say it's a natural thing for a woman to actually be attracted to a man that's able to take the lead?
Definitely. because most women are looking for security, if nothing else. So to having that stable source, a stable person, one who can take charge and take lead and guide you and lead you in a way that's respectful and humble, that's a good thing. That's very much recommended.
Yeah, for sure. So do you feel like that's the reason why some people say that gender roles are very natural and it's the way forward in relationships? And would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's the narrative. I think, yeah, I actually agree.
Right,
Just fit into it as you guys move on or get along the relationship. I think you just naturally feel that role without thinking about it.
right. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so like in this day and age, there are like people are free to express themselves more and more so as we move forward. So there are different types of relationship dynamics that people look at. Not everybody is like going the traditional route, let's say. So they look at other options that may be more suitable for them. So things like monogamy versus non-monogamy. People look at what's more suitable for their lifestyle. I know that you said you are from like a Christian background, but even in like Christianity back in the day, there was like a lot of polygamy in there and in Africa as well. So with that being said, what is your viewpoint on monogamy versus non-monogamy in relationships?
Mm, to be honest, I don't have a particular viewpoint because, like you said, I'm both Christian and African. So I understand the concept of both. I know why it was there. I know why it was very popular and famous at the time. And even nowadays, actually, it's still there. In some cultures and religions, is still a thing. Even inheritance of wives to the, if one brother dies, the other brother inherits. So yeah, I think my viewpoint on that is a bit skewed because of where I'm from and the dynamics of what I'm used to. So yeah, I can't comment on it a
Of,
lot.
of course, you can comment. Like, I want to know your viewpoints. Feel free to share your own personal viewpoints on the matter.
Okay. From my perspective, monogamy is good. Polygamy is fine. Polygamy has been shed off as people have advanced, especially where I'm from. And because I am a Christian, I don't necessarily believe it's bad or good. Like, okay, I'm sure you're noticing I'm trying not to comment or take either side, but yeah, it's a tricky position. It's a tricky question. I don't have a particular straightforward answer for it. I don't practice it. My parents didn't practice, neither did my grandparents actually. But it's there. It's normal. It's common. It's fine.
Right. Now, some people say, like, if their partner came to them and say they want to open the relationship or bring more people into the relationship, it would mean that there's something missing in their relationship. That's why they want to open it up in that way. Do you think there's some truth to that, or do you feel like it's not necessarily means that there's something missing in the relationship for it to be a polygamous or non-monogamous relationship?
Mm. I think the motive matters because, like I said, to us, it's culture where we didn't have much say in it when it was being created back then. So we just do it because, well, it's there. Outside culture, for people to do it, there has to be something going on. I think it's better they sit down and discuss rather than experiment and hurt each other down the line than all these things.
Right, sure. Now, regardless of if a relationship is monogamous or non-monogamous, something that always can arise in a relationship is jealousy, right? So, for example, in a non-monogamous relationship, it could be, oh, you are spending more time with this partner than you're spending with me. Or in a monogamous situation, in a monogamous relationship, it could be, I notice that you are looking at this person or speaking to this person, and it makes me feel kind of jealous. So, with that being said, what do you feel like people can do, like when their partner feels jealous, to make them understand that there's nothing to be jealous about? And how can the partner that's always feeling jealous start to deal with the emotions of jealousy?
Okay, the solution would first of all need to come from the partner who's jealous themselves. Whatever insecurity they are having, it's best that they figure out a way to solve it or come to terms with whatever they are feeling. And if it's worse or if it's bigger than that, they can go to their partner. Communication is very important because unfortunately human beings are not mind readers. We don't actually know what's going on. And for the male species, unfortunately, they can become very clueless in this sector of emotions. So for you, you should actually openly communicate what the issue is because men are very solution oriented. That way you guys can come to an amicable agreement rather than playing this guessing game, pulling back and forth and all this.
Right. So like you said, communication is key. So in an example that someone is feeling jealous and they come to their partner and say, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and their partner wants to make them comfortable, so try to change their behavior to not make them feel jealous. Do you feel like it can become controlling? Like every time the partner wants to say, I feel this way, now the other partner has to change their behavior. Do you feel like that can become something that's controlling to their partner? Or how can they be able to express how they feel without necessarily making their partner change their behavior all the time? For example, like let's say the reason why this person is always talking to someone, it could be work related, right? Or like something, a reason why they need to talk to them, but it's making their partner feel some kind of way. So now they have to change their kind of work habits in order to suit their partner. Do you feel like that can be a thing that is controlling?
Mm, not controlling per se, but complicated because, like you said, this is actually work. It's important. It's sustaining you guys and feeding you and paying the bills. So I'll go back to the insecurity the jealous partner is having. Those need to be dealt with. Those need to be solved like immediately because they will cause problems and chaos down the line. Also, for the partner, the guy who's working, I think boundaries should be set in place. Like if it's work, they should be done between certain times. Anytime outside that, well, it's a violation of the boundary, whatever they agree upon.
Right.
Such kind of things here and there to bring comfort and ease to both partners. And how you communicate is also very important. You just don't go there shouting and causing commotion
Right.
because you guys love each other and you respect each other. You should be able to communicate like human beings because you don't want to hurt each other. That's not the main point. The main point is finding a solution
Right.
so that your relationship can work. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned the insecurities that need to be dealt with from the partner that is feeling jealous. So obviously they can communicate with their partner, but if they want to really deal with their insecurities, in what ways can they start to deal with those insecurities, in your opinion?
Therapy.
Therapy, yeah. Okay, let's say, for
Therapy.
example, they go into therapy to deal with their insecurities. What kind of procedure or steps do you feel like would be necessary for them to start to overcome those insecurities?
I think, well, to normally start by going back to when those insecurities were developed because everything has a root cause. They don't just stem out of nowhere. Yeah, so you regress as much as possible. You find the root cause. Maybe the mom said something, maybe the friend said something, they got insecure. Over time, it developed and mutilated into something very big and out of control. So you start from there and try to build them up from that point. Try to reassure them and reaffirm them and give them a lot of UPR and everything else that's necessary.
Excellent. Yeah, so a lot of the time, people can feel insecure and jealous, but sometimes there's truth to why they're feeling jealous. For example, infidelity can happen in a relationship, right? And like all the reasons why they felt jealous, there was actually a reason for it because, their partner has actually stepped out and infidelity has happened. So once this has happened, it can break trust in a relationship, right? So once that trust is broken, it can be also difficult to get back to where the relationship was before. So what is your viewpoint on like forgiveness after infidelity in a relationship?
From what I have seen, women are much more prone to forgiveness and reconciliation than men. Men are very hard to forgive. They think it's part of their ego and nature. So yeah, it's a difficult process. Both partners really have to be willing to move forward. They really do, because if not, and have you ever heard of the four horsemen of marriage?
No, enlighten me.
Yeah, it's like biblically it's like the apocalypse of, well, apocalypse meaning divorce in a marital context, but contempt, and all those kind of things.
Right.
Contempt is a very big issue. So if the partner who was being cheated on has contempt, you can be 100% sure that marriage is not going to work,
Right.
because contempt is the only thing that doesn't go away, unfortunately. It lingers so much and it affects a lot of people. So they both have to be really willing to move forward.
Right. 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 So you said it was the four horsemen of
Yeah.
okay, so what was
Of
the after contempt, what else was there?
I'm sorry, can you say me?
Yeah, you said there was contempt, and what else did it entail apart from contempt? You said
Hmm.
there was four horsemen, so was there more to it, or was it just about the contempt?
No, it's not. Okay, sorry. I think there's something going on with my screen.
Oh, you're fine. We can see you and hear you clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. It's a biblical reference of marriage.
Okay.
It includes stonewalling,
Hmm.
contempt, like I said, defensiveness, and criticism.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And you say all those four things have to be aligned for a marriage to be successful.
Yes.
Okay.
They
Excellent.
have to be not there actually. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, like when people, I know you yourself haven't had a lot of relationship experience, so to speak, but I'm sure that you've had some type of experience relating to the opposite sex, and when people get into like a new kind of a relationship, there can be a lot of butterflies that they're feeling, a lot of excitement going into this new relationship. And sometimes when people do that, they start to lose their sense of self in that process. So, in your opinion, how could people get immersed into a new relationship without losing their sense of self in the process?
Mm, grounding. Uh, Having someone in your life is supposed to add on, not take away.
Right,
So the time you spend with your family, please keep spending it. The time you spend with your friend, spend it. And the time you're spending with your new partner, it's fine. You just add it in because, like I said, they're supposed to add or not take away. So people around you have known you for a long time. So that creates a grounding sense in you. So they can tell you, okay, this behavior is new and I'm not sure where it's coming from. Maybe you should try working on it. This behavior is not good or something of this. So they're able to nitpick the behaviors that are coming in that are not actually you. That way you'll not lose yourself by trying to be someone completely else for the sake of this new person.
right, right. So, do you feel like they should suppress those emotions that they're feeling to be fully immersed in this new partner? Or, like, what do you think the solution is? Because obviously they're feeling very much attached to this new person. They want to spend all their time. So, should that be something that they suppress or pull back, purposefully pull back? Or how can they deal with that feeling of wanting to be so immersed in this new person?
Yeah, suppressing and repressing emotions is never the way to go. Yeah, but it's honestly, it's normal. It's fine. It's human nature to be looking for the thrill and adventure the new person brings into your life. It's fine. Honestly, you can. You shouldn't necessarily do that because it ruins the whatever that's supposed to happen in the future. The surprises you're supposed to get to know down the line. But it's good to spend quality time with a new person so that you get to know them for who they are. You should use your brain more than your heart, though. Be logic. Yeah, be logic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned quality time because within that quality time, you can be fully immersed, right? But like also having time for yourself, that's another form of quality time as well. So, having that time for yourself and having time for your partner, they're both different forms of quality time that are both necessary. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Quality time. That's a key thing. It's mainly taught in self-love and stuff like that. Spending time with yourself, you get to discover all these aspects of yourself because we don't know ourselves as much as we think we do.
Mm.
Spending time with another will also reveal some of the behavior, the traits, the mannerisms, and all these things also. So, spending time apart actually creates more value when you spend time together.
Right. And obviously you've studied counseling psychology for some time, and you've dived into the subject matter. What would you say were some of the main things that you've learned uh, from studying that in relation to relationships that you feel like can be beneficial to people going forward?
Communication again, very major thing. Yeah, I can't emphasize it enough. Communication is a major thing in relationships and marital counseling. The
Right.
other thing would be the quality time you're talking about. As the years go by, of course, the romance and the butterflies and the facade fades away, but still spending time with each other will increase the bond.
Right.
Yeah, other things, friendship. You guys should actually be friends before getting to know each other in the intimate space, because again that will fade away and you'll be left with friendship. So you guys should be very close, very happy. You enjoy being around each other, you enjoy being together. So that's very key.
Yeah. So you really hit on the point of communication as like something that is a very significant. So what are the
Mm.
major aspects of communication that you feel like really need to be addressed? Like, because there's all types of communication, but like, what is the most necessary aspects of the communication between partners that they need to understand between each other?
Okay, clarity. When you decide to communicate with someone, please be clear, because human beings are very prone to jumping to conclusions. So state exactly what you want to communicate. Another thing, when you decide to go into communication, please don't go there with the intent to win. Like, I am right, you are wrong. The main thing is to find a solution for you both. Like I said, you guys are both partners, and the goal is not to hurt the other person. The goal is to create an amicable environment, a safe environment where both of you will thrive in this foundation that you're building together, that will sustain you for a very long time, God willing. Yeah, so those are very good. Clarity,
Right.
and yeah, the openness too. Also, please listen. There's this aspect of communication that includes listening. That's also very that's it's not common for people to talk about. It's oftenly overlooked, and it's good. Listening to hear, not just to find to answer back. Yeah.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I think that ties into what you were saying about like the need to let the person know that you are right and I am right and you are wrong. So like oftentimes where people feel like they have been wronged in a relationship and they want to let their partner know that what you did was wrong and like I need to share my viewpoint. How can they now like not jump into the like habit of saying you are wrong and I'm right? Like how can they like start to address that in a different way and still address the situation, but not put the blame, so to speak, in the conversation?
Change can only be brought about by willingness to change. If the person really wants to, they can start working on it, not with their significant partner to start with, but someone like a shopkeeper or a nosy neighbor, an annoying neighbor, or a child, even. Start somewhere, start small, then build it up to the point where when you guys argue, you can incorporate small aspects of what you practice outside into the conversation or argument at the time.
Excellent. Yeah, so Tatyana, like, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for everything that you've shared. Where could people find you, find out more about you, and find out more about what you do?
Mm. I'm on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, I don't do much of social media, so I can only be found on LinkedIn, unfortunately. But I do reply to my messages, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Excellent. And for the viewers, Tatyana has now also joined us on our platform, Mates Coach. So you will be able to find her on Mates Coach as well. And you will find the links to her socials in the description below. So you can contact Tatyana and find out more about what she does. Tatyana, thank you once again so much for coming on. Any final words before we wrap up?
Actually, this has been very great. Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for giving me a platform.
You're very welcome, Tatyana. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. All right.
You're welcome. Okay.